Welcome to Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Meghan Payton. Today we are going to be previewing Week 2, Steelers versus Raiders. All of that to come, but please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Guys, we need to get more subscribers to this channel. If you want more free videos, that's all you have to do is subscribe right now. We're going to break down the 5 key victories for the Steelers to beat the Raiders. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, BetQL. Their best bets algorithm went 13-2 on 5-star bets in week 1 of the NFL games from Thursday to Sunday. They are the place to look for bets with any sport. We're going to have more information on them, but go to the link that's below me and use Chat Steelers for 25% off of any of their subscription offerings. Now let's take a peek into this Week 2 matchup. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be hosting the Las Vegas Raiders, and they are both coming off of very emotional roller coaster wins. And to me, we're going to get into keys to victory, but this is like a 6th key to victory for me. Whoever can contain themselves, calm themselves down, humble themselves, and prepare for this game is going to be the person that has the advantage. The Steelers right now are favorited 5.5 against the Raiders. The over-under is set to 47. I like the Steelers winning this game. I'm going to get into what my score prediction is later here in this video. But right now, go to the comments and let me know what you guys think the score is going to be for this Week 2 game, the Steelers against the Las Vegas Raiders. Now let's get into our 5 keys to victories for the Steelers to win against the Raiders. My first one is improvement from Najee Harris. Now, I'm not saying, we talked about this in an earlier video, I'm not saying that Najee Harris had a bad game. He obviously didn't have the best opening game, but he's a rookie. He had 16 carries for 45 yards. Yes, a 2.8 average, but this was his first game in the NFL. There's going to be some adjustment that comes along. I do think that we need him to improve in order to utilize the run game, especially against this Vegas defense. I think it would be key to kind of lock in a win for the Steelers. I think that Najee Harris is going to improve. We are going to see more from him this week. How much more, though, are we going to see of him? How many rushing yards do you think Najee Harris is going to have? Go to the comments right now and let me know. I'm excited because I really think he's going to improve. And speaking of player kind of bets, if you're planning on making any player prop bets, any over-under bets, any bets at all, you need to be using BetQL. They are the best computer model that scans over like 350,000 unique bets to give you the best recommendation on where to place your bets. So bet your money smart. I'm telling you, if you're going to be betting this season, you should be using BetQL. The link is chatsports.com/SteelersQL. Use the discount code ChatSteelers at payment checkout for 25% off of any of their subscription offerings. Next up, I think for the Steelers to win this game, they need to have a better performance from the O-line. This is where I'm afraid for the Steelers. This could be an issue. They aren't going to be getting a new guy this week. They're not going to be picking up someone from free agency. They're not going to be trading. So they're sticking with who they got. And it's a young group. That's what they've decided to go with. So they need to see improvement. They need to be prepared for the Raiders pass rushers that dominated in Monday's night's game. I mean, they've got edge rushers like Max Crosby that are going to be coming in hot. So we've got to expect a lot from some of these rookies to improve and really just show that they can prove themselves in the NFL and kind of beat that stereotype that a lot of people are talking about. Third key to victory for the Steelers is they need to contain the beast that is Darren Waller. This is going to be the biggest threat for the Steelers defense, in my opinion. Darren Waller is just a beast. He's amazing. And I mean, even if we look at his stats from last week, he got like half of the targets that were thrown to him, but he still got 100 yards. He is a dominant player. He is someone that the Steelers are going to need to look out for. And Mike Tomlin was actually asked about it during the press conference this week. And he said, you can describe him as a tight end, but I think that seems less appropriate, to be honest with you. That's putting them in a box. This guy is a dynamic, big athlete. He then went on to kind of compare him to Chase Claypool, saying there's no Steelers tight end that fits the mold of Darren Waller. He compared him more to that wide receiver. I think that if they can figure out stopping Darren Waller, it's going to be a lot on Minkah Fitzpatrick. Minkah Fitzpatrick had a really good game last week. If he can control Darren Waller, maybe they'll use another guy too to kind of put double coverage on him. We'll see. But do you guys think that the Steelers can contain Waller? If you think so, type Y for yes or type N for no. I'm confident with Fitzpatrick on the Steelers side. I think that they can contain him, but I do think that this is going to be the biggest threat for the Steelers defense. And like I was telling you guys, if you're going to be betting this season, you need to be using BetQL to be making smart bets, to know where you're putting your money. But also, if you want a free year of BetQL, you guys should go check out their BetMGM offer in the description. That BetMGM is the sportsbook. So that's where you're actually going to be placing your bets. If you go to chatsports.com/SteelersMGM, if you deposit $10 into your account, bet $10, you're going to receive a free year of BetQL, which is amazing. If you're going to be betting, make sure you're betting smart. You'll get that money. You'll get that free year, 24 hours within your first bet. So I'm telling you guys, go sign up. All this is going to be in the description too. Next up for the keys to victory, this is going to be, we need to see a better game from Big Ben. I think home field advantage is going to help him. That's kind of my prediction here. But Big Ben had a decent game. He had 18 for 32. He had 188 yards, 1 touchdown, and he had a QBR of 28.5. So no, this isn't ideal when we're talking about dominant quarterback play. He managed the game appropriately, though. But we're going to need more from that as we get into these harder games. Not to say that the Bills weren't a hard game. That was one of their most difficult games of the season. But you can't just not perform well in the first half and expect to win. For fun, though, let's kind of compare the two quarterbacks. We've got Derek Carr and Big Ben. This is what they did last week. So Derek Carr threw 34 for 56, had 435 yards. We went over Big Ben's stats here. So to me, these stats are a little bit misleading. I think that overall Big Ben is a better quarterback than Derek Carr, but this just shows you that week 1 wasn't necessarily what we thought it would be as far as Big Ben's kind of role. But who do you think is going to have more touchdowns on Sunday? Is it going to be Big Ben or is it going to be Derek Carr? If it's Big Ben, type R in the comments. And if it's Derek Carr, type C. Lastly, for the Steelers to take on the Raiders and go or stay home with the win is that Watt needs to put pressure on Carr early on. And he's the highest paid defensive player in the league, so he's a good guy to have. He last week had 3 tackles. He had 1 forced fumble. He had 2 sacks and 5 quarterback hits. So he performed last week. He showed, hey, there's a reason I'm getting paid. I am going to show up. And I think it's important that he shows up early on in this Vegas game, because if you can get the ball back in Big Ben's hands early, and if they can get some points up on the board earlier in that first half like they didn't this past week, that could be a huge help to them. So if Watt can kind of get in Carr's range early on, I think that the Steelers have a great chance of winning against the Las Vegas Raiders. But where do you guys stand? Who do you think's going to win this game? Let me know in the comments right now. Now, I'm taking the Steelers. I'll tell you my prediction here in a second. But if you guys are taking the Steelers, type PIT in the comments. And if you're taking the Raiders, type LV. Now, for my score prediction, I've got the Steelers beating Las Vegas Raiders by 27-24.